everything that they knew, I usually say they laid their eggs all over the place. They laid their eggs in many ways. All the mystics on this planet, most of them never spoke or taught anything to anybody. But everything that they knew, they invested in a certain way in the world. It's always available. If you ask me, for me, Gautama, the Buddha, is not 2,500 years ago. For me, he is right now. He's as alive today as he was then, because he's always accessible. And like this, there are thousands upon thousands of masters. But many times these Guru Pujas take on a completely different possibility. Something else becomes alive and in my entire life, never once in my life have I ever prayed. Never prayed. I never did that because such a need never arose within me that I need to pray for something. So I'm not the right person. But I have seen certain rituals which are powerful, which is making a huge difference for people, or they should not be destroyed. They are very important because people brought much well-being within themselves, around themselves by doing certain things. Right now, when I sit here, you might have noticed that I'm doing a simple process with myself. Why is this? See, to do different types of activity in our lives, our energies need to be focused differently. Let's say, because you took the microphone, let's say you want to sing. You will see singers, good ones, I'm talking about those who have invested their life into music. You will see before they sing they are preparing, they have their own little ritual, something of their own, each person might have developed their own. Or if you're in India, they may have a traditional ritual which they do before they sing. And this keeps his voice, his well-being, more than anything to sing. The maximum amount of your energy should be in your throat. If it's in your hand at that time, it's not going to help. To perform different types of activities beyond certain level of competence, you need your energies focused. Why do you think one human being is able to do a certain activity so well, another person just can't do it? Simply because their energies are focused that way either naturally or by training. An athlete, before he runs, he's doing his own little ritual so that he doesn't get his cramps and this and that. That's his own ritual. If he doesn't do that ritual, can he not run? Maybe he will run. Maybe he will still run. But he knows to perform beyond a certain limit, certain amount of preparation definitely helps. So like this, people evolve different kinds of rituals. There are very powerful ritualistic processes. The problem with the ritual is just this. The problem with the ritual is not the ritual itself. The problem with the ritual is the integrity of the people who conduct these rituals, which is a serious issue. Because integrity is at a certain low in the world generally, rituals can become very problematic because they have a certain power about them. There are two ways to bring well-being. See, we are on the yogic path. For us, well-being is all internally organized. We don't depend on any ritual, whatever. But is everybody capable of doing this, investing their life for their internal growth, managing it well within themselves? No. People need a ritual. 100 people are sitting here, they're not able to do things by themselves, so you do some common process for all of them. Something that they cannot do by themselves, you try to impact them in a certain way so that they benefit. If they could do everything internally, no need for any ritual. I have no need for any ritual in my life. But is everybody like that? No. Initially when I was young, I refused to make any kind of even smallest ritual available to anybody because I was young and little cruel. I said, you better work for your well-being. Why should I do anything for you? But slowly I see there are many people who will never take that level of commitment to work for their own well-being. You have to do something to them. So now we do certain things, minimizing it, keeping it at the minimum, but if people need something, we do something. But the basic focus is, the best thing is your well-being comes from within you, because that way you're free. If your well-being comes from me, in some way you unnecessarily become leaning on me. We don't want this. But those who need a crutch, shall we tell them, pull off the crutch and say, walk right now? Shall we do that? That would be very cruel, isn't it? So rituals are there. Ritual is not the problem. The integrity of the people who conduct the ritual is a serious problem. That is what we need to attend to. Don't throw the baby with the bath water. Bath water has become dirty, but the baby needs to be rescued. I never went to any place and learned anything. I never went through any kind of spiritual training in my life. But there is no aspect of spirituality that I'm unaware of today. It's not that I'm carrying it all with me. If I walk on the street, I walk like a child without anything on my head. I'm not burdened with my knowledge. But whatever I need is always there with me. If any kind of situation comes, till now in my life, I have never ever felt a situation where I don't know what to do. I'm talking about the spiritual aspects, not the physical life situations. The spiritual dimensions, never have I faced a situation where I don't know what to do. It doesn't matter what it is. People who have been closely around with me and who have traveled with me to various places and significance, they just can't believe how this can be. If I go to some place, I simply know the whole history of that place, not the physical history of it, the spiritual history of it, which matches with the physical history somewhere. If I go to any place, I just know what this place is about, what it is. So this comes not by study, this comes just becoming receptive to a different possibility. When I say a different possibility, most of the beings who were truly spiritual, they never came out and said anything. They are the smart ones. Because the moment you open your mouth and try to say something about a dimension which is not in your experience, you attract so many problems to yourself, endless amount of problems. You can get crucified because you spoke. Or you can come near crucifixion and you have to manage it tactfully here and there, playing all kinds of tricks, otherwise they will crucify you, one way or the other. Today crucifixion doesn't happen upon the cross, they'll call the tax man or the policeman or this man or that man and try to fix you somehow. So most of them never spoke. This does not mean they did not contribute. Everything that they knew, I usually say they laid their eggs all over the place. They laid their eggs in many ways. All the mystics on this planet, most of them never spoke or thought anything to anybody. But everything that they knew, they invested in a certain way in the world. It's always available. If you ask me, for me, Gautama, the Buddha, is not 2,500 years ago. For me, he is right now. He's as alive today as he was then. Because he's always accessible. And like this, there are thousands upon thousands of masters. Guru Puja is a kind of a device. If you know how to carry it on, you can invite certain possibilities. We are initiating people into Guru Puja in a certain way. If people know how to do Guru Puja with a certain right kind of attitude, and there is a whole science of managing materials also there, creating a certain situation. You create a certain situation where certain type of energies and certain type of possibilities become close to you. So it is a way of inviting the Guru. The Guru does not mean somebody you know, somebody you do not know, no. Gu means darkness. Ru means dispelling. Anything that dispels your darkness is your Guru. So you're inviting that dimension which can dispel your darkness. That dimension is always alive everywhere in the existence. It is just your ability to become receptive to it. So Guru Puja is a device to make yourself receptive to a possibility where you invite a dimension which dispels your darkness. There is a whole science behind it. This is a simpler way of doing it. There are more elaborate and powerful ways of doing it. This is a very simple way. But many times these Guru Pujas take on a completely different possibility. Something else becomes alive and the situation changes so dramatically simply because of a simple device that they're putting into action. That's why I don't do it.